Another day, another discussion on JD Martinez. How you doing, everybody? It's your boy Wardy, and we're coming at you live from Port St. Lucie here at the amazing BetUS house. Shout out to our great sponsor that you guys all know very well here on the WardyNYM YouTube channel already. Myself and fellow amazing MLB content creators have been coming at you with live streams breaking down our predictions for the regular season in various ways, whether it's award predictions, over-unders, or what we'll be breaking down today shortly after I record this video, as a matter of fact, in our live show, our Division and World Series predictions. So make sure you guys chime into all that fun content. We've been having a blast. And make sure you also click the link down below. That way you too get the awesome 125% bonus. Well, not your first, not your second, but your first 3 deposits there with BetUS, who has all your sports betting needs. But today we're talking about the news again as a surprise to absolutely nobody. The Mets are once again connected to JD Martinez. The article came out over the past hour at the time of recording this. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button as you guys are first chiming in. Greatly appreciate it. I got plenty to say here. You guys know where I stand with JD Martinez. If you've been following the channel, we have broken down every report connecting the Mets between JDM this past offseason. We're doing it again because what is one thing that the Mets don't have a certainty in for a third straight year? It's consistency at the DH position. Mark Vientos, again, love Marky V. There's plenty of aspects to his game that I enjoy. I think there's untapped potential there. But at the same time, I also love the idea of bringing in a sure guaranteed bat where you know exactly what you're getting. And for the most part, that would be the case here in JD Martinez. I want to know your initial reactions down below to the news again that JDM is once again connected to the Mets. This comes out from John Heyman, the New York Post, over the past hour or two. At the time of recording, this article will be linked down below for you guys to check out. And in said article, it states that the Mets have re-engaged in discussions with, yes, the team there and Scott Boras and JDM, and there's mutual interest on both sides. And while there are the Angels and a couple other teams also in JDM's market, it seems like things may actually finally pick up here. Look, we're already in the middle of March. JD Martinez, surely a guy with a 30-plus home runs, 100 RBIs north right around there. We're looking at a 900 or so OPS. I mean, tremendous numbers that we saw from JD Martinez this past season. He really looked great, especially against lefties. A huge bounce back year, his one and only year in LA after having some ailments with a back flare up there in 2022 when the Mets tried to trade for him from Boston around the deadline. But now JDM is still out there. He still has plenty to give. Yes, he's a little bit older, and yes, he's a standalone DH, but he is a sure guarantee as a massive power bat, and there's no denying that this would be tremendous production alongside Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Francisco Alvarez, and others in this Mets lineup. So let's talk about the reality. How realistic actually is this? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it appears that there's actually a greater chance for this to happen now more than ever. Why exactly is that? Well, again, it's timing, right? We're in the middle of March, and a sure power bat, one of the best power hitters in all Major League Baseball, is still out there somehow. I know it's age. I know he can't play any position, but his bat is so good that it's crazy to see that he's still out there. But when you put everything together, you look at him turning down the San Francisco Giants to go with Jorge Soler at 3 years, $45 million or so. Other options too don't really have, they have everything figured out DH-wise for the most part. The Miami Marlins, there's been some preliminary discussions there, but they have their options, including Josh Bell, and the Marlins are not a team that's really looking to spend much this offseason. So even though the Mets have a 110% tax, in said article from John Heyman, it seems like the Mets have been given the green light, that being David Stearns, to go out and really do his best to land said player. It doesn't look like they're going to be as adamant about the 110% tax. Yes, of course, that's still factored into things. The Mets want JDM at his price, but a one-year deal, pretty much regardless of what it's going to be, how can you go wrong with the Mets? The only argument to go against JD Martinez on a one-year deal with a second-year option potentially is seeing what you have in Mark Vientos, and I think there's a great argument to say, hey, for a team that David Stearns is claiming that we're going to be pushing hard for playoffs, we are a playoff caliber team, JD Martinez is that sure guarantee power bat that rakes against lefties as well, that can get the job done for you in the heart of this order behind Pete Alonso that you have desperately been needing over the past couple of years. I know that this Mets team is not destined to necessarily be World Series bound this year or anything like that, but what they are destined for is to have a better season what they did in 2023. They added a lot of great depth this past offseason, but they need to make sure that they have some quality with it too. JD Martinez completely transforms this lineup, and for the people that are saying as soon as he gets to Queens, he's going to have a drop-off. Here's the thing. even if JD Martinez does have a drop-off, even if he goes from, say, 30, 35 home runs to in the 25 range, RBIs, he finds himself in the high 80s, right? OPS, he finds himself more in the 800 range than 900. Batting average, nothing crazy either. OBP, again, at a solid clip. You're looking for the slugging, but even if his OPS is 100 points or close to from the 2023 season, that is still production you're taking every single day of the week if you're a Mets fan like me. How can you not? You understand how low the floor is with the Mets DH position? It is pond scum. It is below pond scum. They have nothing there when it comes to sure guaranteed and consistency. Even JD Martinez hitting half the season in Citi Field, which is not a hitter's park by any stretch, and even JD Martinez, who I do expect to take things a step back a little bit at least this year, even with that full expectation and understanding, I still want him every single day of the week, especially as a short-term option. This is a guy that initially headed into the offseason looking for, around 20 mil AAV on a multi-year deal. He turned down the Giants because there's obvious reasons why a lot of players do not want to necessarily be in San Fran. I'm not going to say that goes for everyone. It goes for specific players, and I understand that viewpoint. But in the case here of the Mets and JDM, this just feels like it's been a writing on the wall for over 2 years now. When the Mets pushed hard for him in 2022 that we covered here on the channel, I mean, it was so frustrating to see them not pull the trigger. We saw the Red Sox were very stubborn at the time, and you have to wonder if the Mets made a trade for that type of power bat in 2022. Do they falter the way that they do to the Atlanta Braves at the end of that season, heading into postseason? It's a great question that we're never going to have answers to, but we can help predict the future. Because right now, I'm telling you, there's a great reality where Mark Vientos, if he is the Mets' primary DH, that the Mets are going to find themselves as buyers by the deadline looking for a more guaranteed option than what they currently have there. We need to see what we have in Vientos and Beatty. I understand that. I also am in favor of giving Vientos some leash at times, platooning with Beatty at third if it means that JD Martinez is going to come into the slab. Yes, you might be sacrificing defense of the hot corner, but in return, you're going to have an offensive upside and consistency that you haven't had potentially all of the 2023 season. So Mets fans, let me know how you guys feel about this. Are you for or against JDM? Again, this is a sure guarantee bat that can give you 30 bombs every single season. He's going to hit for solid contact. He knows how to spread the field as well, and he knows what it takes to win as a World Series champ during his time with the Boston Red Sox. That's another thing that comes into play here. Clubhouse character, clubhouse personalities, understanding big markets. JD Martinez does all that and then some at a tremendous rate. He understands what it takes to win. He understands what it's like to be in a big market, like his time in Boston, obviously. And, of course, the LA Dodgers, even though I will say it's definitely a different element than, say, playing in New York. Point is, JD Martinez, why are you not a New York Met yet? Steve Cohen, if he's giving the green light, David, what do you have waiting for you? Scott, I know you're going to be stubborn like you always are, but you fumbled the entire offseason, Mr. Boris. You might as well give a little leeway to the Metropolitans that gave you bags you probably didn't deserve, i.e. Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, just to name a few. So Mets fans, again, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you for or against JD Martinez here as the next potential power bat to help protect Pete Alonso in this lineup, or would you prefer they stay in-house with their options, headlined by Mark Vientos, and then to lesser degrees, Chi-Man Choi, DJ Stewart, and yes, Luke Voigt. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for our live coverage and plenty other Mets and MLB-related content coming on the channel in the near future. Shout out BetUS as always. Make sure you click down below to get in on their amazing odds today for all your sports betting needs. I'll talk to you again real soon. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.